The Yankees just got swept. Again. Not by the Red Sox, by the Tigers. That's 7 straight losses. And honestly, I don't think the biggest problem is the losing streak. The biggest problem is that this team suddenly doesn't look like itself. Over the last month, we talked about this team learning to win without Aaron Judge. The bullpen stabilized, the lineup found different contributors, starting pitching was carrying games, the fundamentals improved. Now, all of that has disappeared. They're not just losing, they are giving games away. Errors, poor situational hitting, missed opportunity, questionable decisions. This series wasn't about Detroit playing flawless baseball. It was about the Yankees continuing to fail the simplest tests. And if that doesn't change quickly, this losing streak won't end anytime soon. If we take a look at these games one at a time, the first game, the Yankees lose 7-3. Ryan Weathers starts the game, only ends up going 1.2 innings, allowing 5 runs, only 2 earned, on 7 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The Yankees offense had a grand total of 3 hits, 2 doubles from Spencer Jones, and 1 pinch hit 3-run homer in the 8th from Ahmed Rosario. The Yankees defense had 2 errors, which led to 5 unearned runs for the Tigers. And the Tigers starter, Casey Mize, went 7 innings, giving up 1 hit and striking out 10 Yankees. Game 2, we had Cam Schlittler going. And you would think that this would be a good point to turn the series around. However, Cam Schlittler has one of his worst outings of the season, going 4 innings, giving up 6 earned runs on 7 hits and 1 walk while striking out 5. And an important play from this game was in the first inning with 2 outs. There's a fly ball hit to the wall in center field. Spencer Jones jumps up, thinks he caught it, and everybody thinks he caught it, including the announcers. And he comes back down, and the ball popped out of his mitt and landed over the fence for a home run. So that made it 1-0 with 2 outs instead of ending the inning 1-2-3. And Cam proceeds to give up 2 more home runs after that, allowing 4 runs in the first inning. Ben Rice went 1 for 4 with a solo home run in the first inning. Dominguez had 2 singles, and Volpe had 1 single, which was the Yankees' entire offense of 4 hits in the game. Yovanny Cruz had a good outing out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings, giving up 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, and striking out 3. And once again, the Yankees' defense had an error that turned into 1 unearned run. So Yankees end up losing that game 9-3. And then we go to game 3, where the Yankees end up losing 6-2 in 11 innings. Will Warren started this game, actually pitched decent. He went 5.1 innings, giving up 2 runs on 5 hits, no walks, and striking out 7. The Yankees were down 2-0 in the 9th when Rosario hit a solo home run. Jazz then had an infield single, stole second, stole third, and scored on a wild pitch to tie the game at 2. The Yankees had a runner on third with 1 out in the 10th and didn't score, but the bigger story might be that they did not pinch hit Paul Goldschmidt off the bench with that runner on third with 1 out. They don't end up scoring there. We go to the 11th, and Camilo Doval gives up 2 earned runs, 4 total, including the ghost runner. And once again, there was an error that allowed another unearned run. He walked 3 and gave up 1 hit and ends up with the loss. So, 3 losses. 3 defensive performances that created extra outs. 3 offensive performances that never consistently threatened Detroit. And another series where the Yankees looked like they were chasing the game from the beginning. So, what held in this series? Well, there were a few individual bright spots, even in the sweep. So, Ben Rice hit that home run in Game 3. Hopefully that'll bust him out of his slump that he's been in. Spencer Jones was responsible for 2 of the Yankees' 3 hits in Game 1, both extra base hits. And Yovanny Cruz gave the Yankees an outstanding performance in Game 2, going 2 innings, giving up no hits, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. So those performances should not get lost in this. The second thing that held, Will Warren deserved better. Game 3, he was quietly excellent. Again, 5.1 innings, 2 runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. He gave the Yankees every opportunity to win. The offense and the performance in the late innings just could not finish the job. And the third thing that held was the fight in Game 3. We were down 2-0 in the ninth. Rosario homers. Jazz manufactures the run by himself to tie the game. The Yankees forced extra innings. They didn't quit. Unfortunately, they also did not finish. So, what did not hold in this game? Well, first and foremost, the defense. Again, errors in all 3 games. After all of those errors against Boston, after all of those errors against Cincinnati, this is no longer just a bad week. It's becoming a defining characteristic. And that in itself is alarming. The second thing that didn't hold was the offense. And outside of a few individual swings, the lineup disappeared. 3 hits in Game 1, 4 hits in Game 2, and in Game 3, we did not score a single run until the 9th inning. The offense is becoming far too dependent on isolated moments instead of sustained pressure throughout the game. The third thing that did not hold in this series was the decision making. And Game 3 is going to be debated. We had the winning run on third base with 1 out. Goldschmidt, who has been one of the better hitters, was available on the bench. The Yankees choose not to use him. The inning ends without us scoring. Maybe it works if somebody else delivers, but this time, it didn't. And those are the uncomfortable decisions within the game that define these close games. So did the Yankees respond? Well, unfortunately, this is a resounding no. And that's what concerns me the most. After getting swept in Boston, this was supposed to be the response series. Instead, the same problems followed them home. Errors, lack of offense, giving away extra outs. This time, the Yankees didn't answer adversity. They brought it home with them. As for the turning point of the series, for me it was that first inning of Game 2. And this moment perfectly summarizes the entire series. Spencer Jones nearly makes an incredible catch at the wall, but instead, the ball pops out. It's a home run. I think that flustered Cam Schlittler a little bit, and he wasn't quite able to recover, giving up 2 more home runs in that inning. What could have been a very clean first inning immediately becomes a 4-0 deficit. But that's baseball. Tiny moments become huge ones. And throughout this series, there were too many of those moments that went against the Yankees. For our player performances, the positive, I have to give it to Jazz Chisholm Jr. His ninth inning in that last game embodied exactly what this team needed. An infield single, steal second, steal third, score on a wild pitch. He refused to let the game end quietly. And it was refreshing to see that type of urgency from this Yankees team. From an individual player, at least. The concern coming out of this series is the entire team's defense. This has officially become the biggest concern. It's not one player, it's the entire team. Errors are now becoming expected instead of surprising, and that is a terrible place to be. I can deal with the offense not being as good as it normally is with all of these guys on the IL, but the defense has to be better. There is no excuse for everybody on this team to be making errors. Somebody new every day is making an error. That's not okay. And that's a cultural problem as well. Carries over from the regular season to the playoffs if you don't nip it in the bud. And the Yankees don't do that. So what player is trending for me right now? Well, Yovanny Cruz. Quietly, he's one of the biggest positives of this series. 2 perfect innings, 3 strikeouts. The bullpen has been searching for reliable depth, and Cruz is a significant development there. The problem is, the Yankees decided to send him down after the last game. So now he's not going to be available for the next 2 series, which includes a series against the Rays, who are leading us in the division. It's another decision that is just baffling. If we go to our structural check, what is aligned right now? Well, we have young players who are continuing to contribute. Ben Rice, Spencer Jones, we talked about their offense. Yovanny Cruz with his pitching. That is all aligned. Young guys contributing. Another thing that's aligned is the team still is showing some fight. That 9th inning of the last game, they showed fight. They could have rolled over down 2-0 in the 9th inning, given up. They fought back to tie the game. They just didn't finish. And the other thing is individual performances that remain encouraging. Like I said, you got Jazz Chisholm, Ben Rice hitting that home run, Spencer Jones continuing to get hits, Dominguez continuing to get some hits. Unfortunately, they're doing it 1 game at a time and only getting 3-4 hits in a game. They're not all performing in 1 game. So what is not aligned right now? Well, number 1, the defensive execution. It is currently our biggest weakness. The second thing that's not aligned is the offensive identity. Where did it go? 2 weeks ago, the Yankees were overwhelming teams. And this is without Judge, without Stanton, so I don't want to hear about that. You had hits up and down the lineup. All of a sudden, you go from scoring a ton of runs and getting hits from everybody to getting 3 or 4 hits a game. The Yankees just cannot create traffic on the bases right now. And another thing that's not aligned is the decision making. These late game choices are becoming increasingly scrutinized, and especially with not using Goldschmidt in that last game. So the biggest takeaway, the Yankees haven't forgotten how to play baseball. They've forgotten how to consistently execute. And that's an important distinction, because execution can return. But until it does, this team's going to continue losing games that it has the talent to win. So what have we learned from this series? Well, first and foremost, 7 straight losses exposes more than bad luck. At some point, patterns become reality. It's not just a bad game here and there. This is every game now. Second thing we learned, the young contributors are continuing to emerge. Rice, Jones, Dominguez, Cruz, and these are genuine positives. And the third thing we learned, the championship habits that we have seen have disappeared. And great teams don't just survive talent deficits, they execute. And right now, the Yankees just aren't. If we take a look at our trend line, pretty much everything's trending down. Our team defense is down, the offensive consistency is down, team confidence is way down, and our overall identity is trending downward. The only thing that is slightly trending up is the young contributors at the moment. And they're kind of being forced to. So what should we watch for in the next series? Well, number one, can the Yankees stop giving away extra outs? This has to be priority number one. You will not win games. You will not win games consistently if you continue to give teams extra outs. Second thing to watch for, is this offense going to rediscover its identity? You had a long stretch of baseball there, a lot of days in a row of playing. Just had a day off. Will the Yankees recover on offense? They need sustained rallies and not just solo home runs here and there. And the third thing is, how does this team handle adversity now? This is the first true crisis stretch of the season. Championship teams don't avoid these moments, they define themselves in it. So, let's see how this next series against the Twins goes. For our final verdict, the series wasn't the reason the Yankees are struggling. It confirmed why they are. They're not losing because they're untalented. They're losing because they've abandoned the little things that made them successful. Clean defense, smart base running, situational execution, timely hitting. The encouraging news is those things are fixable. The concerning news is they have to fix them now. Because 7 straight losses can become 10 very quickly. And the deeper this spiral gets, the harder it becomes to remember what this team looked like when it was playing its best baseball. And that's the standard. Championship teams don't just overcome adversity, they refuse to let adversity change who they are. This is the standard with Brian Leavy.